Hey guys, welcome to Detory. You must have heard about the UFO incident that occurred at Roswell, where it was reported that a saucer-like thing was seen in the atmosphere. Still, this remains an enigma, and many people like you are confused as to whether the US government tried covering up the true nature of the Roswell UFO incident or not. But you don't have to stay curious anymore because I am here with a detailed video about what actually happened in Roswell, the facts behind it, and why this is a controversial matter even though 75 years have passed. Let us fully understand what the Roswell UFO incident is about. The world was amid the war when a rancher, Mac Brazel, reported to the sheriff that he found a flying disc on his property, about 100 miles away from the Roswell Army Airfield on a hot day. On July 18, 1947, the public newspapers released news that the Army Air Force had found a flying saucer at the ranch. The US military wanted to suppress the news, but they got late. When they turned on the radio, they had already found the news of a flying saucer soaring on the Earth. However, the military denied it, but the Americans kept saying that countless bright objects had been observed in the sky that summer. The new concept of UFOs roaming in the Earth's atmosphere gave birth to modern fiction, and for the first time people started thinking about aliens. Here I will ask you a question, before we proceed further with the controversies and facts behind Roswell UFO. So, do you think people before had a concept of aliens? You will surely say no, but I think they were unaware of the term aliens, but they had seen them. Returning to the incident, the land at Roswell was under nuclear dust because of World War II. A pilot named Ken Arnold spotted the bright object streaking across the sky near Mount Rainier, passing with supersonic speeds. However, the officials hiding the incident suggested that these fast-moving objects were the rockets being tested by the military. But the public took it on nerves when more than 800 similar sightings were reported across the country, but the law enforcement and military officials deemed them copycat events. You will be amazed to know that Brazel, at that time, was isolated from the outside world with his sheep and cattle. He reported that the debris he found in his pastures was scattered all around. He collected that material and gave it to the local officials for discovery. The sheriff visited the place and then reported to the military. The debris samples were sent to the Fort Worth Army Airfield in Texas, where military officials announced that it was nothing but a weather balloon that crashed over Brazil's fields. Before they could release the news publicly, New Mexico-based Roswell sent the information to the media about the flying saucer. Later, a public information officer, Lieutenant Walter Haut, claimed that he was ordered by the base commandant, Colonel William Blanchard, to use the description for UFO sightings. Some photos were released by the U.S. Air Force on the 24th of June 1997 that describes the UFO incident. The military claimed that test dummies were placed in insulation bags to protect the temperature-sensitive equipment. Still, the witnesses described these bags as the cover for alien bodies that fell on the Earth during the crash of the flying saucer. However, the story faded with time, and people seemed satisfied with the explanation the military gave them. In 1978, the National Enquirer ran an article on the UFO incident. This caught the attention of the original viewers and the people who got observations about the unusual objects in the sky. All of them claimed the government cover-up was fake. The rebirth of the story had no information about the alien bodies wrapped in black cloths after the incident. In 1993, a TV series, The X-Files, was released with a fictional story about the FBI agents Fox Mulder and Dana Scully, who reported alien abductions. This series added fuel to the fire. If we talk about controversies, those who were a part of the investigation released many stories behind the flying saucer, and none of them seemed true. Everyone had their own statement about the flying saucer that did not even have a link to each other. They just looked like allegations one country imposed on the other to divert people's attention from the real incident. The American military pretended that the flying saucers were new technology deployed by the Soviets. However, when they were asked about the debris, no one said anything about it. The flying balloon story remained the longest cover-up for the original UFO incident. They tried to show that the debris was from the listening devices used during the Project Mogul operation. Now you must be thinking about what Project Mogul was. Project Mogul was a military program designed to intercept radio messages from the Russian military and intelligence through high-altitude balloons. They were filled with air, so they could deflate and fall down to the Earth after some time. Several incidents have been seen in the past in Mexico City. Do you believe it? Let's move further. In 1994, the U.S. military again changed the statement and released a statement that the flying saucer and the debris were a secret project carried out in New Mexico. Later, a statement was released in the press that UFO sightings are a sign of the apocalypse. From 1947 to 1960, over 6523 UFO sightings were reported, which shows a link between space travel and aliens. Moreover, some researchers suggest that they may be the sign of the start of a Cold War between the creatures of the other planet and humans. However, if the flying saucer was a military program, the events noted after the incident was just a mystery. Another mysterious thing about the incident is that exactly 5 years after it, the airline pilots in Washington, D.C. saw lightning flashes that were more unusual than routine. On July 19, 1953, the radar operators were perplexed by fast-moving blips on their screens. The US Air Force sent the jets behind these objects, but the jets never found. So could that UFO be? According to my opinion gathered after deep research, the UFO was nothing extraterrestrial. It was something related to military missions that were under the control of officials. It could be havoc for them if it were not under their control. Moreover, there was no sound. Change in shape and color was evident, and strange shapes were nothing but an illusion created by the military to divert people's attention from the atrocities of war. What really was at Roswell is not clear. Everybody has their own explanations, and somewhere inside our hearts, we also believe that some other creatures in the universe are spying on us. The US Air Force is one of the strongest militaries in the world, and if there is something like aliens abducted at Roswell, then they might have a plan to save the Earth from the Cold War. However, recent universe discoveries reveal the presence of other Earth-like planets. There might be some alien links to those planets. They might want friendly ties with us because the things we know are just confined to the sightings. They might have killed some of us if they had any plan to harm us. The mind also diverges to another situation where aliens might be fans of the complexity of our minds, and they want to use the human mind to get amazing things done. It might be millions of people disappearing from the planet could become the victims of their secret missions. Or they might plan the war against us and use our people to invent modern methods of ending the Earth and ruling the solar system. Anything can happen. Let's predict and hope for the best that these sightings are just illusions. What do you think about them? Let us know in the comments section if you think that the US government covered up the true nature of the Roswell UFO incident or not. So, that's a wrap for today. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share the video with your friends. Hit the like button and press the bell icon to stay updated whenever we post a video. See you next time with another exciting video. Till then, take care.